gears slightly and talk about your previous life, career in television.
Yes.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This was one of my major shows growing up. Will Smith. How did that all come together, you and Will Smith? Because he was sort of a big singer, right, before the...
Well, he was a rapper.
What's the story?
He was...
A rapper, right.
A
singer.
A crooner.
You know the crooner Will Smith?
Hey, Grandpa. Get with
cancer.
the kids, right? Yeah, he was kind of a rap artist.
Hey, DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yes, DJ Jazzy Jeff. And the deal was he had actually had a big hit when he was 16. He had this song, Parents Just Don't Understand.
Right.
And he had made a couple $1 million. And then he spent a couple $1 million, not realizing that when you make a couple $1 million, you owe half of that to the government. So he was already like $1 million in the hole, and he was like broke, and his record company had actually dropped him. He was really his career was kind of over, because he was like 20 years old and was considered a has-been, and sort of more, more urban rappers. He was a very suburban rapper, and more urban rappers like 2 Live Crew were coming in, and all the white kids were listening to them and stuff. So he was kind of at the end of his career, his singing career, and he met Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones said, you've got a lot of charisma, we ought to try to do a sitcom with you, so he brought him to NBC, and I was under contract to NBC, and believe it or not, this white kid, Jewish kid from Shaker Heights, Ohio, was the hippest guy at NBC at that time. And they honestly thought, being like 32, you're 32, you're 20, and I'd actually never heard of the Fresh Prince. I'd heard of Prince. Yeah. But we sat down and actually, I really clicked with him, and we had a very similar take on things and similar sense of humor, and so we just sort of put this thing together very quickly. I wrote the script in like 3 days, and then we rehearsed it in like 2 days, and he just had such tremendous charisma.
You tell right away that first.
Yeah, it was just so, I'd never seen an audience, I'd done sitcoms for like 10 years, and I'd never seen an audience react the way they did to Will Smith. He just had this, because he really didn't know how to act at that point. He'd never acted before. But the thing about rappers in general, and this is also true of like LL Cool J and Snoop Dogg and Queen Latifah, they're such great performers. It's not a big leap to them becoming an actor, because to be able to get up there with a microphone and command everyone's attention like that with so much stage presence, you're already kind of halfway there. Yeah. So, yeah, it was just a very cool experience.
I think that's the next step in the evolution. It's sidekick and then rap
I went
star.
from being a politician to this couch, so that's the evolution so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really evolution, Marty. I don't know if that's. I think you're being generous. I think I would shoot for stasis. Really, would be kind of like. Yeah. I don't mean to be a wet blanket, but I just think let's just get a grip here. Really.
I appreciate the support.
Let's not run away with ourselves.
This one.
Yeah.
So are you and Will still tight today? I mean, did he invite you to the After Earth premiere party?
Yeah, I was in After Earth. I did a lot of the stunts for Jaden, and so I'm very much in the mix still. Yeah, absolutely. I run into him we're
He
not.
basically owes his career to that show, and in a sense, you, right?
Well, now I'm getting really angry now that you mention it, because I had never really looked at it that way before.
He's one of the biggest stars in the world.
He is. No, he's a cool guy. I always felt like he did very well by me, and vice versa. I don't think either of us. I think it was such a fortunate thing for both of us to be involved in.
Sure. The Embassy Peacock's paying your rent still these days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And then of course, my tweets are very remunerative.
Yes.
All that tweeting, all that social media stuff is just a gold mine.
Oh. I'm going to save the social media talk for Dick Cavett, but at Borowitz Report, Andy Borowitz, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks. Same here, Scott.
Andy Borowitz. I almost asked him to do the Carlton.